Welcome back, ballroom dance friends. Today is a part 2 of a response I have for a question in our comments from Mananana. And that reads, do you know if there's a difference between competitions in Europe and the United States? And yes, there's a ton, and I've obviously competed in both as an amateur and professional. So let's dive into that. If you missed part 1 of the differences, I'll post a link below in the description. Okay, next up. For the competitions I've done in Europe, they are significantly bigger, meaning more entries. More people in each division, so you'll have many heats. Instead of the United States, you might just have a final or a semi or a quarterfinal, so much larger field of competitors. And also there's very rarely pro-am, whereas in the United States, every NDCA comp has pro-am divisions. Every independently run comp I've been to has pro-am divisions. Even USA dance comps these days in the United States have a version of pro-am. So this is quite unusual. To give you an idea of the volume I'm talking about, the largest amateur ballroom dance competition annually in the world is the German Open. And they have over 5,000 entries, okay guys? And it's not like Pro-Am where one person can enter umpteen events, okay? So a lot of competitors there. Although any statistic can be somewhat misleading, Blackpool is more competitive, but the German Open has the most entries just because they have kids divisions there as well, okay? Blackpool is it's a completely different comp. They do run junior Blackpool, but it's a totally different time of the year. Although it is in Blackpool, it's in the same winter gardens where the Blackpool Dance Festival is held, okay? That's called Junior Blackpool, okay? Now, at most of the European competitions, they do run an under 21 division. But if memory serves me correctly, you have to be a minimum of 16 years old or something to do that category. So there's no like children there, okay? Now, I've been to comps also in Europe that only offer championship level events. I have yet to see that in the United States. So this is another way that it's different. Now, this could be just a sampling of the comps that I've done because I would go to the major world comps. You know, it's possible all the other comps have a compo, but that's just not been my personal experience over there, guys, okay? Okay, next. Unlike the United States, I have personally never been to European competition that was hosted at a hotel, okay? Europe, I've actually been to comps where they are like in legitimate ballrooms. I've also been to many comps, I would say most, that are in, I'll call it a sports complex. I have not seen anything comparable here in the United States. I don't even understand really how they work, but it is a massive complex of like open to the public for a variety of sports. And one of the rooms inevitably is a massive size room that they can run ballroom dance as well as other sports activities in that gigantic room. Now, the ones that are hosted in the sports complexes, guys, are not obviously fancy like the events we see here in the hotels, okay? It's pretty industrial, but you know, I dance in a cardboard box as long as it's at a dance floor, and that doesn't faze me at all, and I love having all the competitors there. So I have yet to be at any event really I dislike, okay? The only exception I know of off the top of my head for comps that I've done is the Crystal Palace. This one is about a week before Blackpool each year. And it used to be held at a sports complex, but my understanding is recently they have moved it to a hotel. So just think that's interesting. Okay, next up. Unlike the United States, all the major world competitions that in Europe at least have live music, meaning a live band. So, for example, Blackpool, the Empress Orchestra plays every year. And it's not like going to a hokey live band dance in the United States, at least any event I've been to. The music is not good. It's not the right tempo. It sounds like they're just playing a whole bunch of waltzes in a row that doesn't really have a strong cha-cha beat, or vice versa. They've got, like a cowbell going every single song, even though it's a waltz. These are legit, incredible, amazing music, full-on orchestras. I'm not talking about a 5-person band here, okay? Incredible. Same thing with the UK Open. The International does have canned recorded music for the initial elimination rounds. And then when you go to the quarterfinal, they actually have a live band, and obviously semifinal and final. Okay, guys. So that's definitely different. Now, that is certainly not all European competitions. That's just the major world comps. Okay, I've been to plenty of comps in Europe where there's just canned music. That's normal. I just have yet to see a competition in the United States with a live orchestra. Okay. Next up, any European comp I have ever been to has never had a quote unquote package deal like they do at almost all the NDCA comps. They also don't have a pro show per se. They do often, though, start on the first night with an invitational pro team match, meaning it's like the top 2 couples from a select number of countries, maybe 5 countries in the case of Blackpool. And then those 10 couples will compete against each other, and then the country with the cumulative highest marks wins the team match. So I would say in that sense, it's similar to the Pro-Am team match you would see in the United States, but I've only seen that over there for the professional divisions. I have never once seen that in the amateur over there. I've never once seen it in Pro-Am over there. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm just coming from my personal experience. If you've seen something else, or you're from Europe and you have a different experience, please comment below. We'd all love to hear that, and I'd love to see that too, because I am but one person, guys, and certainly one person cannot do every single comp in the world. I wish. Okay, next up. Unlike the American competitions I've been to, there is much more of an international presence of competitors from many countries, much more of a multinational feel. Really, the only time I get that sense in the US is if it's an IDSF Open amateur event. And in that case, they will actually sponsor, say, 6 couples to fly in and do the comp. It's not truly like organically multinational, all these couples fly in from around the world to do it. Now, I'm sure this is not the case with most European comps, but the ones that I've done are obviously sandwiched in with the major world comps, so there's naturally going to be a lot of international competitors in the area anyway during those times of the year. Okay, next up, many of the top pros around the world fly in to see these comps, even to judge these comps, even if they're retired, even if they're just coming to watch. Because of the volume of competitors coming in from around the world, it's an opportunity to take private lessons with people that you don't necessarily have to buy another plane ticket to go see. So those people get totally booked up before and during these comps. Now, if they're judging, they are not allowed to teach you at the comps, but because there are many elite level pros there not judging that are retired, they get booked up as well, friends. My suggestion, if you want to get awesome privates, if you happen to be in Europe for a major comp, is to stay after the comp, okay? And then book your privates then, because everyone shows up a week or two early, you know, to warm up, to get out of the jet lag, whatever. And then as soon as that comp's done, they jet out like the next morning, crack of dawn. So I've also stayed after a lot of these comps to get coaching that I otherwise just couldn't get. So that's my 2 cents there. Okay, once again, I'm over my 10-minute mark, but I have a lot more interesting stuff to share with you about how different it is competing in the United States versus Europe. Thank you so very much for your question, Manana. It makes my job so easy, guys, when you ask questions, because I have no idea what you want to hear about. And I love sharing stuff that you actually are interested in or find entertaining or helpful. So thank you. And if you have questions, comment below. If you disagree or have a different experience than with something I've shared, hey, comment below. Again, I'm just one person sharing my experience. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you love all things ballroom dance, hit that subscribe button. Happy dancing, guys. I will see you all first thing in the morning. Bye.